Hey y'all, Chatty Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me again on this beautiful Wednesday. Just to remind you that I'm not offering any cure for any disease. This is just what I believe. This is what I've learned. This is the way that I live. All I'm doing is sharing with you guys now so you have a choice. I'm just trying to give you that option to feed your body more healthily. Healthily? That's a good one. So I'm just trying to give you both sides so you can make the right decisions for you and your family. So thank you so much for listening again on this Wednesday. Remember, love, like, subscribe, and share so we can get to so many more people. So the last 3 weeks or so, and I was actually trying to find the perfect water system or systems for my house. This is what I kind of stumbled across, and now this is what I do. Nothing that I knew, of course. Now I do know, so I'm ready to share with you guys. You're going to be so surprised. So get your notebooks out and your pens and paper so you can take notes. That'd be so awesome. This is so important for your health right now to learn how to flush out the toxins and stuff in your system so you have the right pre-prevention, right? That's our word, pre-prevention. And like I said, I did not know some of this information. Now I do. And I feel like I'm in school again, but I'm teaching myself. I love learning and I love studying all these things for you guys. Like this lecture has come out to 5 or 6 lectures for the next couple weeks. You're going to learn all about fluids. And I'm working really, really hard. I said compared to the emergency room, but in the emergency room, you busted your ass and you kicked ass too. It's a different kind of work, but I'm absolutely loving what I'm doing. And I'm so glad that I'm retired now. So let's talk about the importance of water. Water, fluids, or flusher outer, if you want to call it that. A doctor I read, Batmanelli's, stated, I'm sure that's not how you say it either, pure water is the cheapest form of medicine to the hydrated body. Pure water. Absolutely. And the most important word out of that is a hydrated body. Yes, you have to drink your water, but what kind of water are you going to be drinking? So for the next couple weeks, we're going to be learning the most important things and why. But today we're going to start about just fluids and water, okay? First off, I read several books on this subject, and a lot of the doctors said that most people are dehydrated most of their lives. What? And you're talking about the 6 to 8 fluids every day, and what can you add as a clear liquid and all these other questions. But most people are dehydrated most of their lives. So your poor little body, right? Water is everywhere. Water's in the forest, water's in the oceans, water is in other waterways, and you can name them too, and I'm going to name them a little bit later on. Water's in the sky, water's in the clouds. Water is under the earth's soil and the earth's sand and the earth's rocks, right? But the question is, can you drink it? Is it good for you? Is it going to do what water's supposed to do for your body? Right? So you got many, many questions and answers coming up pretty soon. So what is in your beverage cup right now? Comment below. Comment below. I have my special water that we're supposed to drink, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. Unfortunately, I believe that most of the world's water bodies are polluted. Springs, rivers, ponds, wells that people get their water from, our tap water, bottled waters. There's stuff in there that we just don't need. So that is pollution, right? And of course, our poor little oceans, they're filled with toxics, industrial chemicals, filled with pollution, filled with trash, all secondary to what? Mankind, us, absolutely. And we need to take responsibility for this, right? That's one of my huge goals in my lifetime is to clean up all the oceans, all the waterways, and use all that trash up. Use the trash in a massive way. So recycling facilities where companies actually have to come and purchase the only plastic that's available. It's called retrieved, recycled, and reused. R, capital R, small r, big R. That's going to be my business. Retrieved, recycle, and reuse. There's not going to be allowed any more plastic to be made. It's going to be banned. And the only way to get your plastic, if you have them in your companies, and I know I've said this before in a different podcast, you have to go to one of our recycling facilities to get it. And that way, more things are paid for, right? They're trying to get rid of plastics, but we still need them. So who's willing to help me? One of the companies I do help is 4Ocean. Look them up. It's so awesome. Many, many others have started this quest also. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate you, and the earth really appreciates you. But you know what? I'm going to stop it. So I need a lot of spirit energies beside me. I need a lot of love and a lot of help. Please comment below and let me know if you're willing to help me clean up the oceans and our waterways, right? So we can help so many things, so many people, so many animals. So let's talk about the makeup of our body a little bit of anatomy and physiology. The class is starting now, so get your notebooks out and your pencils and your papers. Our body is made of the organic material carbon. So anything that's living has carbon in it. It's about 18.5%. Okay. There's also water, which is 70%, oxygen, 65%, hydrogen and nitrogen. And there's other traces of other things too. So we're mostly made up of water, right? And organic materials. All of these are averages. Everybody's different. The averages fluctuate throughout the day too, depending on your environment, depending on what you're doing. And then there are the inorganic materials that actually come from our Mother Earth. Give Mother Earth a big old hug right now. And those inorganic materials kind of get into our drinking fluids, right? Depending on where the water that we drink come from. The inorganic materials play havoc in our body systems, okay? Some of the inorganic objects that get into our bodies are actually treated like a toxin, like a poison, and it stays in our system, especially if you're a little bit dehydrated all the time, if you're not drinking the right water to actually clean you out. Unless the inorganic materials are mixed and dissolved in a very good water, and we'll learn that in a minute, they have to be able to be changed chemically so our body can use them for our health and for our survival. It has to be in a really good solvent, which it has to be a good water, right? Sometimes we can't use it anyway. Some of them actually stay as a toxin, slowly taking away the health of our tissues and our organs. That is not good. So everybody knows how much water that we're made of, right? 70, 74%. Like I said, it's different cycles, different times of the day, different people. Everybody has a little bit different. So basically, they're going to say an average of 70% water is what we made of, right? Most of the body's water is actually in our heart and in our brain. There's about 75% in your muscles and kidneys. There's about 80%, like I said, in our brains, 82% in our blood, 83% in our lungs. There's our body, even though you don't think of it, but our body is made of all sorts of water, right? The skin has about 64% water. There's actually water in our bones, about 25%, okay? And our saliva, the water is 99.5%. That's how important it is, because that's when the first things get into our body, right? The saliva is also mixed with digestive enzymes, electrolytes, there's mucus in there, of course, there's antibacterial compounds, right? This is the first time that things get into our system. It's through our mouth, so it has to have a lot of things to help us out. And then in our lymph system, watch my circulation lecture from last week, our lymph system members, our sewer system, it's about 96% water, right? And in our lymph system, what I say, we have white blood cells, proteins, and debris that needs to be flushed out and get out of our system. Get that crap out of our system, right? Make sure you have the right water. Make sure that all your circulatory systems are working great. And watch, like I said, watch my podcast, and I'll tell you how to get those circulatory systems going. A fun fact that I did read, though, water counts for what? I said about 70% of our body's weight. But water actually makes up about 99% of our body's molecules. So water molecule, getting into the chemistry part of it, oh my gosh, math. So the water molecules are actually lighter than other molecules. So they said from a molecular standpoint, and I read this in a couple different places, so from a molecular standpoint, you're about 99% water, right? Isn't that good? See, I told you it wasn't extra sub-Q tissue. I'm just retaining a little bit of water. Oh my goodness. In plants, water constitutes 50 to 75% of the weight of that plant, right? And we're 70%. Plants are about 75%. How awesome is that? That we're almost equal to a plant's weight too. So many similarities, so many similarities. So you're most entirely water, right? So don't you think that you should filter out that water several times a day? Water needs to be recycled throughout the whole day that you're living. What I would do and teach my patients, and this is how I taught my son how to do it, how to learn about it, my patients in the emergency room, I would say, think of your body as a fish tank. And you have your little carbon filter and your filter at the top. So how many times a day do you think that water goes through that filter to keep the fish free of diseases, keep the fish free of illnesses? The same goes with our body. Filter it out. It goes through that filter system on a fish tank many, many times in a day, getting recycled as best as it can actually in a fish tank. And yes, it's 6 to 8 glasses every single day, but it also depends on several factors. So if you're sick, that means nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, sweating, you're going to need more water in those days. If you sweat a lot, you're just one of those kind of people that sweat a lot, you need more water in a day. You can lose about 2 quarts a day just through sweating and urination and exhalation. So yes, you lose water when you exhale your carbon dioxide out of your system. Water is very essential for you to be able to breathe. You can lose about a pint a day while just breathing normally and exhaling. Isn't that kind of weird? You never think about that stuff, right? So here I am bringing it up, absolutely, and I want everybody to learn something. This is going to be so awesome when we get to the end. You're going to say, oh my gosh. So let's discuss some of the things that good water in our system actually does for us. So get your notebooks out, make sure you write this stuff out and share it with as many people as you can. Please, please, please. This is almost not more important, but just as important, maybe a little bit more important than my dairy lecture telling you about dairy to telling you about protein. Have you watched those yet? You're going to be surprised. Water is necessary for all of our body functions, all of our body systems. Water is the single most important nutrient for our body. Let me say it again. Water is the single most important nutrient for our bodies. You can live without food for several weeks, but you cannot live without water, not even greater than 5 days. After 3 days, 3.5 days, you kind of go into a semi-coma state. So no, you need your water. Water is the medium of our life. It's how our bodies communicate within itself. Water actually may be the key to receiving information into and within our bodies. The water in your system is how you use your energy, right? And most people don't even think about energy healing or any of that kind of stuff. Yes, it's actually out there. So the water in your body influences how you use your energy. And that in turn influences how your entire body receives information and gives information, or receives information and gives information to the energies around you. Because remember, your energy goes into every living thing and every non-living thing around you. It's all intertwined. Water is a universal solvent. It picks up impurities quickly if it's good water and easily, transporting them through your system and getting them out when they need to go out. Water is also lubricating to all your joints and all your linings of all your organs. Water bathes our cells. So guess what? You do get a bath every single day. Oxygenated waters move vitally important substances without the body. You need your oxygen. And is it going to attach to a good water, or is it going to attach to a water that's not really good for your body? But that's okay, because you don't know. I didn't know. Now I do. Water actually helps us break down our food, right, that we eat, and it flushes out the bad stuff out of our digestive system. Our internal body temperature is controlled with water. For the kidneys to work efficiently, our little 2 kidneys back here, you need good water, not just 6 to 8 glasses of any water, but you need 6 to 8 glasses of great water. For the acids to get out of our systems, the bad acids like lactic acid, uric acid, urea, they actually have to be dissolved in a good water to be excreted. The kidneys just can't excrete or get rid of those things. Now, the kidneys can eliminate between 20, 28 liters per day, right? but it can only do about 1 liter, a little bit less than that, up to 1 liter per hour. You don't want to guzzle that much water because your kidneys can only do so much, right? Water molecules, work like a big network to drive the movement of our proteins. And the proteins, what? Are building blocks of our body. The amino acids get together and they build the proteins. The surface of proteins are controlled by water fluctuations. The final shape of a protein depends on 2 things. It depends on water and it depends on the amino acids themselves. So amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, but you need water to help it out. You need good water, not a soda. Good water balances our pH in our body, and everybody's talking about pH because all these alkaline waters are coming out now. Watch my podcast on what not to drink coming up actually next week, right? And the water keeps all of our body fluids kind of stable. Now, our normal body's pH is between 7.35 and 7.45, so we are already slightly alkaline. Your body fixes your pH levels by drinking and absorbing the right kind of water. If your cells are starved for water, they become shriveled. You know how your skin is? You can tell if you're not drinking enough fluid from actually looking at somebody's skin. The same thing happens to the cells. They become shriveled up and they become dry. And that means that it's not protecting you. It's not protecting themselves at all. And viruses and diseases and bacteria can easily attack if the cells aren't healthy. And all you have to do is drink the right water to get that started. Water also keeps our skin supple and intact to protect us from our environment. Remember, the skin is the biggest organ. The skin is our first line of defense. How are you keeping it healthy? Watch my skincare lecture coming up very soon. You have to do it from the outside in, and you have to do it from the inside out. It has to be both. Again, when the body's cells and tissues are kept supplied with good water and a good amount of water, they can fight attacks more efficiently from things that are trying to make us sick or things that are trying to actually take over. Even a 1% dip in your hydration can negatively affect your mood. It can decrease your attention span. It can decrease your memory, and it can decrease and mess up some of your motor functions too. Look it up. Absolutely. I'm not lying to you. It can do all those things. If you have frequent headaches, if you have frequent aches and pains, if you have heartburn, even as I read in a couple books, even depression, you know what? Your body could be deficient in water. And diseases like fibromyalgia and arthritis, chronic fatigue, where your muscles don't work like they used to, you need to definitely consume at least 6 glasses of water a day. You know why? Because you have to flush out the toxins that are actually sitting there in your muscles because you're not moving your muscles or using your muscles like you usually would, because that will help get the toxins out and it'll actually make you more thirsty. So yes, diseases like that and problems like that, the minimum is 6 glasses a day. Lack of water is the #1 trigger of daytime fatigue. It's not that coffee break that you need or that little nap that you need that's going to wake you up again. Chronic fatigue syndrome. I can't even say it right. Chronic fatigue syndrome. Water is the #1 trigger. Are you dehydrated? How are you feeling right now? It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes water hurts us without even knowing. From our earth, right? Dissolved organic matter that is in the waters that comes from the streams and the mountains and stuff like that. They have hydrocarbons in them. They have herbicides. They have pesticides. They have pollutants. They actually have microorganisms from things passing away, dead leaves. And it all depends on what body of water that it came from. And usually the inorganic matter in your tap water is actually a toxin. They have to add other things to the water too so you can make it drinkable, right? Chlorine, they add fluoride in there. We'll talk about fluoride in a minute. They've found aluminum, there's sodium chloride, which is salt. These are all found in our waters, and there's other things too. And these are actually inorganic chemicals, inorganic materials. Inorganic stuff cannot be utilized for the health of our tissues, for the life of our body. we can't use inorganic materials in our organic body. So think about what all these inorganic materials or substances, think what they're doing in our bodies, just sitting there. Think about the possible harm that they can do to our body's functions within our tissues, unable to be flushed out, unable to be released out of our bodies, sitting in there over our lifetimes. Total dissolved solids, and if you look at your water handout that they give you every once in a while to tell you what's in their water, TDS is total dissolved solids. Remember, all of these are pretty much inorganic. All of these are inorganic. The World Health Organization actually did a taste test, and that's how they determined how much TDS is they're going to allow in our water. They had a panel of tasters that came to the following conclusions about how they prefer their water to taste. A taste test is how they determine how many particles are going to be left in our water that we drink. What? These are inorganic materials that our bodies cannot utilize. Water is not supposed to have a flavor, and I didn't know that either. You know, when I told my mom, this is what you need to start drinking, I don't like that water. It doesn't taste good. It's not supposed to have a taste. Water is not supposed to have a taste. Write that down. Water is not supposed to have a taste, and if it does, the material that's giving it that taste, you probably can't use in our body. Total dissolved solids actually can produce hard water, which leaves deposits, films on our water filters, on our sinks. The water filters actually wear out sooner. The household fixtures, our pipes, right? The boilers, etc., they don't last as long because of that buildup. Look at the faucets. Look at the back of the faucets that you don't really wipe very well. What is that mineral pool? What is that white stuff on the back of your faucet? What makes it fall apart easier? What is on the edges of mineral pools that we can actually get into, right? They said less than 300 is TDS is acceptable. Above 1200 is unacceptable. But with a good flavor, it's going to be between 300 and 600 TDS in our water. Calcium carbonate, which is actually limestone, and other inorganic materials are in our streams and in our water supplies. There's calcium carbonate, there's magnesium carbonate, potassium carbonate. Like I said, there's other things. These are the things that make hard water. These minerals can dissolve in water, in any kind of water, a solvent, but most of the time the percentages of those things in our water are way too high for our bodies and our kidneys to handle. So where does it go? Where is it going to be stored in your body because you can't get rid of it? Hard water makes your hair dry and it makes your skin dry too, okay? These inorganic materials consumed over our lifetimes because we just didn't know, we don't know. These mineral deposits from hard water tend to actually accumulate in the weakest points in our body. Even though you think they're strong, but they accumulate in the weakest points in our bodies. So they accumulate in the intestines, building up layers, which causes GI problems and constipation. It accumulates in our kidneys, which could also give painful kidney stones. I didn't know that either. All you people out there with kidney stones, change your water to what I'm going to tell you it is in a minute. Absolutely. And then, of course, which I didn't even think about, the linings of your blood vessels. They say it's dead white blood cells and too much cholesterol, too much fat that causes thickening and hardening of your arteries, arteriosclerosis and atherosclerosis, right? Filling up all those little blood vessels, especially our little capillaries. Remember our little capillaries? Did you watch my lecture on circulation? Capillaries is where everything melts together. It protects our organs. And remember, they fill up with toxins. I didn't know it was from our water. I did not know it was from our water until I started looking this up a couple weeks ago. Shut the front door. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I'm learning all this stuff. And of course, all those substances migrate to your joints. There's helping those over 100 different arthritises take hold of your body. Arthritises in your joints. Inorganic materials are the ones that humans usually consume in our water and in our supplements that we take. When you eat or drink inorganic foods or supplements, really only 8 to 12% of it is actually used in the body, if that. The rest of it builds up in your tissues and in your organs, especially and even if you drink plenty of good water. Some medications that have inorganic minerals in them: calcium tablets, zinc tablets, your daily multivitamins, your daily minerals, vitamin C. They actually put these in a form of glutamate, right? So your body can use it. What is glutamate? Glutamate is sugar. Then your body is able to use those substances a little bit better. I didn't know that either, and now we do. So don't drink water that is loaded with a bunch of inorganic materials. You cannot absorb them. They get stuck in your joints. They give you thickening and hardening of your arteries, so you get those chest pains, so you have those heart attacks, so you have those strokes. What? Change your water. So what happens when your joints are stiff, full of crystals? Gout, uric acid crystals? What happens when your joints are full of inflammation? What is that called? I told you already, it's arthritis. What about the people in bed that have contractures and they can't move much or hardly anything at all? What do you think? Yes, your muscles, make you that way if you don't move them around, but what do you think is in those joints? Everything that is accumulated and built up. That's one of the weakest areas, the joints. And think of the discomfort that people go through every single day with arthritises, and then their knuckles and stuff get deformed. It's terrible. It's terrible pain. Oh my goodness. But now there's something that you can do about it. And like I said, it didn't just happen overnight. So you have to continually drink this great water. Don't forget, when you take a shower, you can absorb the water and the toxins in the water. And you also inhale the steam and other materials too. You can receive 100 times more chemicals while breathing the air and inhaling the air around showers and baths. Do you have to wear a mask in the bath now? Especially if you're in a public shower or something in the gym. Tap water has been processed, treated, and disinfected many times before it gets into your home. The material that the water companies and the water facilities put in the water to kill the bacteria and to kill the contaminants are poisonous, and they make it to your homes. The byproduct of chlorination, because if it starts looking milky or filmy, they just add more chlorine, right? The byproduct of chlorination is chloroform. Huh? What's chloroform used for, huh? Comment below, everybody knows. And don't forget the synthetic chemicals in the drinking water, and they commonly come from pharmaceutical drugs. That's why in the emergency room and then throughout hospitals too, there's certain things that you cannot flush down the toilet or in the sink anymore. Synthetic chemicals are also runoff from farms, right? Whatever comes off the farms, whether it's plant or animal farms, it doesn't matter. And community runoff, okay? And don't forget all the chemicals used in the manufacturing processes in these big industrial buildings around us. They have found over 700 chemicals in our drinking water, and some of them cause very serious health problems. And the water treatment facilities and whoever tests them, they don't even test for all of them. And I read as far as 1,500 different chemicals in our drinking water. So between 700 and 1,500 chemicals in our drinking water, and they're not tested for all of them. Don't drink your tap water. Absolutely not. Don't drink your tap water. Should you shower in it? I read some things that you need to put a filter on your shower too, so you don't absorb those in your skin. Most salts are inorganic, except for Baja Gold sea salt. The sodium chloride in Baja Gold sea salt is 72 to 78%. That's it. That's not bad for you. Nope. It has good minerals that you can actually absorb. That's the one that I use. Sometimes I use Himalayan pink salt, but a Himalayan pink salt is still 97 to 98% sodium chloride. That's sodium chloride is not the one that's good for you. 97% of our table salt is sodium chloride. That is an inorganic compound. It is not living. It is refined. It is dead. So why are you eating the sodium chloride that they have on the shelves? Why? Because they put iodine in it for you? Shut the front door. You can't use it, which means the iodine they put in it for you, you're probably not able to use all of that either. It's inorganic. The body cannot utilize it. Watch my podcast on salt coming soon. I'll do that one also just to explain the different kind of salts that I have found while I was trying to find out the right kind of water system to use. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon too. The main idea for today is don't drink water that is loaded with a bunch of inorganic materials. You cannot absorb them. Only living plants can convert inorganic materials, inorganic minerals from water that's running off the mountains over rocks and stuff like that from the earth into organic materials. So only living plants can convert inorganic material into organic material and minerals that our bodies can use, right? It's called photosynthesis, right? Organic material is the only material the body can use. And you can get it from eating the plants, and you can get it from eating the animals that eat plants if you must have animal products. Most people need animal products, but not as much as you actually think. Watch my protein lecture. I think that was my third or fourth one, and that'll explain that to you. And you're going to be surprised on that one too. The organic compounds that we actually eat are our carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Those are organic compounds that our bodies can actually use because we are organic too, right? Pesticides and herbicides, they're actually oil-based. So you can't use just water to wash those off your fresh fruits and vegetables. What I do is soak mine with baking soda and a little bit of vinegar for about 12 minutes or so, and that gets off most of the pesticides and herbicides. Another good thing to write down too. So there are things in our water supplies that are added for what? To make it clear and to kill the bacteria and stuff that's in there. But you're consuming that toxin and those poisons in your body also. So let's talk about fluoride for a little minute here. And I'll try not to get angry or cuss, I promise. So fluoride, you know, is in our water supplies. In some states, in some cities, they're saying no more fluoride because they know. Fluoride is basically a mass drug medication to be given to too many people. And of course, we're all told to drink our tap water, right? You need your fluoride. No, you don't. Fluorine and fluoride occur naturally in our earth, and they occur naturally in water systems. But it's only a small amount. It's found in our seawater in small amounts. It's found in our waterways in small amounts. They're actually found in shellfish, and fluorides are found in grapes, in raisins, wine. So get your fluoride from drinking your wine. Oh my goodness. I guess it can't be red wine because that kind of stains your teeth too. And you've seen that's kind of not doing good for your dental health, but right? Drink your wine. I didn't say that though. One glass of wine is good. That's good enough. Fluoride actually helps mineralize your bones and mineralize your teeth, so that actually keeps them very strong. But this is the fluoride that you get naturally from the water. Fluoride is actually an antimicrobial, and it does kill bacteria in your mouth. It's the same bacteria that can actually give you cavities and can give you gum disease. But it doesn't need to be added in to our water. It's there naturally if you get the good waters, right? And in our foods, right? Fluoride is very, very poisonous to every one of your body systems. It's a toxic chemical. Look it up. Look it up. Comment below what it does to all your body systems. I read it. I just didn't put it in this lecture because I would have been really upset at this point by now. If you actually need to kill bacteria in your mouth, what do? You swish around in your mouth and gargle with a teaspoon or a tablespoon of organic coconut oil. And like I said, it has to be organic because coconut oil freshens your breath because it kills the bad bacteria, and it actually makes your teeth white. Fluoride, you don't need that. Use your organic coconut oil, and you can do that every day or a couple times a week. It doesn't matter. Initially, it's like putting a tablespoon of lard in your mouth or Crisco oil, the white Crisco oil. And I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this for 10 minutes. This is disgusting. But after a while, when you're swishing it around in your mouth and rubbing it on your teeth, it actually tastes like water. It actually goes down to like a water substance, okay? Make sure that if you do that, you don't swallow it afterwards, because you know what? The bacteria that were in your mouth are actually in there, and you don't want that to get in your stomach at all. It'll probably make you really upset, yeah. It has been proven many, many times that fluoride is not essential to dental health. Good dental health, great dental health is keeping your mouth clean, not eating sugary sweets and foods, because you can brush your teeth after you had candy and you are not getting that stuff out of your teeth, and drinking plenty of fresh, clean, good water, not fluoride. Fluorides are also poisonous to our animals. So what kind of water are you putting in your animal bowls to hydrate your little guys, right? Think about it. Sodium fluoride is classified with arsenic and cyanide, both dangerous poisons. Look it up, comment below. I promise it's the truth. An intake of only 5 milligrams a day can cause an average individual to develop deformities of the spine, deformities of the major joints within their lifetime of drinking this water. Fluoride slowly destroys and slows down your body's self-repair systems, your body's rejuvenation systems, and your healing capabilities. Slowly and surely it does. Fluoride has also been linked to neurological impairments. Fluoride has been linked to bone problems. Fluoride has been linked to genetic damage. Fluoride has been linked to cancers. And it's been proven. But for some reason, the researchers and doctors have been coerced into changing their findings. I read that also in many books. Look up all the studies that link fluoride to different types of cancers. Look it up yourself. Prove it to yourself. Please comment below. Please tell other people about this podcast. If you look at the Native American Indian reservations, it is mandatory. It is a law that their water is fluorinated. A law. Can we stop that law? Help me out, people. And children living on these Indian reservations have more incidents of dental decay and other oral health problems. The kids outside the reservations, it could be caused from high sugar foods, right, and refined foods. But then when I look and see what the kids are eating on the reservations, they're still getting high sugar and refined foods too. What the heck, man? And yes, it could be the sugary foods, but they're saying it's also fluoride. Look it up. Look it up. Good oral hygiene, healthy teeth is one of the first line defenses against the food and drinks that we eat every single day. Fluoride is absorbed in the lining of the mouth, and then it's absorbed in our digestive system. It's not good for you. When fluoride is ingested, 93% of it or so, like I said, everything is an average, is absorbed into the bloodstream. And what's not excreted from our systems, from our body, it gets deposited into the bones and the teeth. Now look at some pictures of teeth on YouTube or wherever you do your research. Look at some pictures of teeth and see what the color of people's teeth are after using fluoride water and fluoride toothpastes their whole life. Look at it. Also look up how many incidences of bone cancers and osteoporosis and increased fractures that are linked to fluoride. Comment below. Please, anything else that I can add to my podcast, comment below. Anything that we can do to help somebody else, comment below. Let's get to a lot of people. That'd be so awesome. And don't think that if you boil water that it gets rid of fluoride. It doesn't, because fluoride does not evaporate. Also look up and find out how and why fluoride was actually put into our drinking waters. And this happened around 1939, 1940. You're not going to be happy. When you look it up, please comment below. Oh my goodness. Tell me what you think about it. See, I'm starting to get angry now. Okay, let's calm down a little bit, Kathy. So let's talk about water bottles. Everybody's carrying around their special water bottles. Safer water bottles actually don't leach into your water, I found, are labeled with the numbers 1, 2, 4, and 5. The ones that actually could leach into your water that you're drinking are 3, 6, and 7. So the plastic containers with the numbers 3, 6, and 7 indicate the presence of chemicals, okay? Water should not be drank out of plastic, and I'm sure you've heard that before and you know the reason why. If they're labeled bio-based or greenway, these definitely do not contain these poisons, okay? Humans have produced more than 8 billion, and I think it's more than that, tons of plastic. And this was actually measured in 2019, so it's definitely a lot more than that. And this actually started in the 1950s when they came up with plastic. Less than 10% of it has been recycled. Less than 10% of it. Tiny plastic fragments just getting smaller and smaller that we eat, that we drink, and that we breathe in. And the research is just now coming in on what plastics and microplastics have on our body, the effects that they have on our body systems. So we need to help clean out our waterways. Remember also the plastic bottle and the tops and everything, they're not used the same. So if you're going to use and reuse to try to be good for the earth, just use it with caution, okay? Bottled water contains contaminants, we know that. So if you go to the IBWA website, www.bottledwater.org, these are going to give you guaranteed levels of contaminants that are below what the FDA says, okay? So you can look on that website. Yeah, so don't worry about that. I'll put that in the link below, so you don't have to write that down if I said it too fast. And I'm Chatty Cathy, so I probably said it too fast. I'm sorry. So don't drink the water that is artificially softened or added minerals to it, because minerals are inorganic, right? Don't drink water that has all those toxins and poisons in it. One thing I did learn that I did not know, that babies should not drink alkaline water at all. A regular level pH is normal at 7. That's what a child should drink. That's what we should drink. Don't drink alkaline water or ionized water if you're on medications. I didn't know that either. So alkaline water makes medicine more absorbable in the body, so it could make that medication stronger. So if you take a 50 milligram metoprolol for your blood pressure, you drink it with alkaline water, guess what? It could be 100 milligram metoprolol that you're taking. Be very, very careful. You don't need alkaline water anyway. It is not good for you. Watch my podcast on what to drink and what not to drink coming up soon. Everything should be neutral. Our body's pH is what, 7.35, 7.45? Our water should be around that also. I didn't know that either. I knew it shouldn't be acidy, but everybody's like, oh, alkaline water. Another thing, don't use stainless steel containers with alkaline water. It's going to rapidly reduce the ORP of alkaline water. And ORP is actually how they measure how well the toxins and the hard salts and the minerals and all that kind of stuff is removed from the waters that we're drinking. So everybody's using stainless steel, it's great, but don't put alkaline water in there, because it's not working that way anymore. The alkaline water is not going to be that good for you. Alkaline water does buffer acids, and it basically increases the urine out of your kidney, but it does not change too much the pH of your body. And that's why people are drinking alkaline water. It's better to be alkaline. Yes, we already are a little bit alkaline. You don't want to be that alkaline. And I'll explain all that in my podcast on what to drink and what not to drink. Don't drink ionized water if you lack stomach acid, right? Don't drink alkaline water if you lack stomach acid. As soon as you drink that alkaline water, what does it do? It hits your stomach acid, which is about 2.5, really, really acidy. So it changes your stomach acid, which is not good because then you eat something that has bacteria in it or something that should die, it's not going to die. If you eat too much steak or too much protein at one time and you don't have that acid in there at the right pH of around, I think it's 2.5, 3.5. I know it's around anyway. It's around there between 2.5 and 3.5. It's very acidy. It's not going to work very well. And that alkaline water that you spend so much money on is not alkaline water anymore because your stomach acid also changes that. So be careful. Don't lose aluminum containers with alkaline water. So no aluminum containers also. Don't use copper containers with acidic water because that changes it. Glass, so like I said, and stainless steel containers are better. Definitely better to use than plastic. Glass is the best. You just got to protect it so we don't have a lot of broken bottles around. So stainless steel and certain waters are not good. Just rewind it and you can listen again. So when the fluids flow from your body, what are they? And yes, we're going to say it absolutely. Sweat, urine, stool, mucus from coughing, whatever comes off of our skin tissue, right? Our blood, sebaceous fluids, runny noses, itchy, watery eyes. And what about tears? Those are all ways that fluids are exited out of our body, okay? It's supposed to basically detox us and remove toxins and remove negative energies, energies that don't serve you, right? So what does that mean? Sometimes you have to cry. Don't be afraid to lose some tears. It's great. Let it all out. It's not wrong. Men, women, it doesn't matter. Clean out those toxic feelings. Clean out that toxic crap. Let your eyes burn. Let them be red. Let them get moisturized. Let them get lubricated from your tears. You can have happy tears. If I'm really, really happy, I'll get tears in my eyes. If I get a little bit upset and it doesn't take me much, I'll cry. If I get mad, my bottom lip starts quivering and I never get mad. My bottom lip starts quivering and I'll start crying. It also helps decrease the bottled up feelings. It helps decrease the energy that's going through you at that time. So don't ever be afraid to cry. Get rid of the toxins that way also, right? What did I said earlier? You can sweat away more than a quart of water doing an hour worth of strenuous exercise. You don't need to do too much strenuous. You really don't. Watch my podcast on strenuous exercise coming up. Exercise, yes. Get your booty up off that couch, but it doesn't have to be strenuous every single time. Some athletes actually lose a gallon an hour, okay? So if you are going to work out, make sure that you drink plenty of water. 2 hours before exercising, make sure you take little sips while exercising. Don't drink. One sip actually cools you down and it slows your heart rate down too, okay? Make sure that you drink enough fluids to replace what you're actually sweating off, what you're losing. Please don't get dehydrated. And like I said, small sips of water are better. You don't need to guzzle it. Drink a couple hours before, little sips during, and about an hour or so afterwards, 30 minutes to an hour or so afterwards, try to replace that. Sometimes you are going to need to replace your electrolytes, Pedialyte drinks, sports drinks, but they should only be consumed at specific times, not every single day. Those things build up in your body too, right? Sometimes you do need your electrolytes, but when you don't, you don't. Water is the main thing that you should be drinking, okay? If you're working out in the heat or even in the sun in mild temperatures, you're still going to sweat. You still might need to replace your electrolytes also. Definitely your water, but sometimes your electrolytes. Heat problems, they can lead to death. You do not mess around with that. First, you can get heat cramps where your legs kind of cramp up. Drink water with Gatorade in it. Drink pickle juice that will help the heat cramps and Charlie horses that you get. If it continues on, you get heat exhaustion. And the last thing is heat stroke. Like I said, this is a progressive thing that keeps on going. If you don't treat it from the beginning, you're going to be in trouble. You could be dead if you don't treat it when it first starts. okay? And if it does get worse, you got to go to the ER. You got to call 911. You don't mess around with this at all, you know? If it does start to happen and you're getting past that point of where your legs are cramping up or your fingers are cramping up, you know what? If the person is wide awake, you know how I feel about in bad sugars for you, artificial sugars. If the person is wide awake and can drink, who gives a crap what the hell is in there at that point? You get those Fluidz in there. You get that half-strength Gatorade in there, the Powerade, the Pedialytes, whatever. Name some below. Whatever you guys drink, okay? You need to get that in there. You do not want to keep progressing in the heat problems. You will be in trouble, okay? If you drink too much water too, you can also make your sodium go low because there's too much water in that balance. Be very, very careful. One of the doctors actually said a half a teaspoon of salt, good salt, baking soda, and 3 tablespoons of sugar in a quart of good water will actually help you too. That might be better than what else they add into Gatorades and Pedialyte juices, right? And like I said, the cramps in your legs and stuff, pickle juice. You can buy a bottle of pickle juice on Amazon. Drink that up. Absolutely. Comment more below if you have any of your own recipes that you drink. Instead of buying it from a store, which is always going to have something else in there, right? So be careful. Be careful. Please help you guys, all right? Help each other out. How are you losing your fluids? Do you need to replace your minerals, your electrolytes, your vitamins? Comment below. So the signs of dehydration, just so you know, of course you're thirsty, but if you get past that point, you're not thirsty. If your urine is really, really dark and you're not an alcoholic or have liver problems, dehydration. If you get sweaty, red and flushed skin, dry mouth, chills, fast heart rate, if you get weak, kind of dizzy, tired, especially when you're standing up or especially when you're sitting down, you know what? These are signs that you could have already lost 1 to 2% of your body fluid, right? Remember, if you're thirsty, you're already a little bit dehydrated, okay? But don't rely on thirst because there are several factors that actually could disrupt when you actually think that you should take a drink of water, right? When you get older, elder adults, they actually lose that sensation that they're thirsty. I tell my mom, you think you're drinking 6 to 8 glasses a day? Put it on the refrigerator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, right? And then she goes, oh my gosh, I'm not. She drinks all day, but she doesn't finish 8 ounces. Put it on the refrigerator. Measure that out. You have to. Athletes actually don't want to slow down during training, so they might not get their fluids in. Our young kids never, ever slow down. So you have to make them, hey, come take a sip. Come on, take a sip. Absolutely. If you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you need your fluids. And definitely you need more fluids when you're sick, okay? All these factors and other things change with the amount of fluids that you consume, right? Especially if you're not consuming good water. Some people drink apple cider vinegar to help the acid, help lose weight. I'm just putting it out there. Don't do it on an empty stomach. Don't do it without diluting it. It will mess up your esophagus. It does mess up your mucous membranes in your mouth, okay? Be very, very careful. It can have so many negative side effects on your body. It actually slows the absorption of potassium, and it actually does change the lining of your digestive system, like I said, starting in your mouth. You got to dilute it, okay? You don't need it every single day either. Better trying to make yourself lose weight, get more basic, better than an alkaline water, is lemon water, warm lemon water in the morning. I have Myers lemon, an organic Myers lemon that I froze. So I'll put warm water with a half of a lemon squeezed, and I grate the skin, the seeds, the rind, everything, and I put that in my water and drink it. That makes your body more basic. That's a great way to start out your day instead of drinking alkaline waters, right? But they don't really do too much. They don't really change the pH. I've read that several times in several books. Mayo Clinic said that. Doesn't really change it. Please watch that podcast on what not to drink coming up next week. And one other thing I found out, when God gives us lemons, you soak them in warm water. I didn't know that. So you submerge lemons in hot water for about 15 minutes before you squeeze. And guess what? You get about twice as much of the amount of juice. I didn't know that. Shut the front door. I'm learning so much stuff doing these podcasts. Thank you so much for listening and learning with me. I'm so excited. Sodas and specific bottled waters have artificial sugars in them, okay? Most of them are owned by soft drink companies. If water has additives, if it has flavors, if it has vitamins, it's actually called a soft drink. I don't care. Actually, Google what drinks don't contain sugar. And any sugar, what they're going to put is refined sugar, any sugar, because you know what? You know how to read the labels now, right? You started learning how to turn around and look at those labels. Did you watch Fed Up on Netflix yet? Come on. Comment below on the bottled water of your choice, and let's see what we can do to change that and make you healthier. As far as our babies are concerned, breast milk gives them the best water source. Mother's milk contains about 87% water. Hopefully, mom is going to start drinking really, really good water. Imagine what that's going to do for our babies. Oh my goodness. Babies should continue to drink breast milk or formulas until around the age of 1, okay? Formulas also give sufficient water also. But what else is in the formulas? What kind of water are you mixing those formulas with? What else did I read? High fructose corn syrup is in our children's formulas. Watch my high fructose corn syrup lecture podcast. You're going to be mad with that one. And make sure you get Kleenex because I think I cried on that one. Read those labels, people. Read those labels, my friends. Please, 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 let's be healthier, starting with our children, okay? I guess around 6 months or so, you can start introducing a good water. And these are like teaspoons at a time. Just ask your pediatrician, please, what they think about when your child should have water and how much water and how you separate it during the day because you don't want to bombard them with water, okay? Because children are okay to have juices. Just make sure you get the right juices that actually have juice, that actually have fruit in them and not just water and sugar. Turn it around, read the backs, don't look at the front, read the backs. Juicy Juice is the one that I had for my son, but now I'm sure they have new ones because they know that we are learning how to read labels. But mostly your children should drink water. Have them help you squeeze the lemon in it, you know. Put whatever waters that you want to make. Make your own waters. Make your own ice cubes. It's so awesome. Also, new parents, please look up water intoxication for your babies and for the athletes in your families. Be aware of water intoxication. Comment below when you find out so you can help somebody else in case they can't look it up, okay? Juices are sugar and water, so just not too much for our babies. Like I said, it should be good water. Babies and children should not drink alkaline water. Our pH is around 7. That's the water that we should drink. And please, only water for the baby. No sodas. It makes me almost ready to puke when I see a baby carrying around a Coke can. No sodas, no Kool-Aids, no energy or sports drinks, no caffeinated iced teas, please. Let the babies be healthy. If you don't want to be healthy, that's fine. But your children don't have a choice. Your babies, your toddlers, your elementary kids, your teenagers, they're going to follow what you do. And when they're that little, they don't have a choice. So please, please give them the good stuff. Please save the bad stuff for yourself if you don't want to be healthy. Just make sure that you have somebody around to take care of them when you're sick. Sorry. Balance is the key. Balance is the key throughout the whole body. Please teach other people. Help your children. Remember, if you're overweight, you're going to need more water a day. If you're around sick people, you need to drink more water those days, even if you're not sick. Teach that to the people. Teach that to your family and friends. If you are sick, all right, you need to drink a little bit more water a day than you normally do. And then you have to maybe add some electrolytes. Like I said, half-strength Gatorade to your Fluidz. There's other things. I just say Gatorade because that's the one that everybody always talks about. I don't drink it. I think I would probably do that recipe that I said a little bit earlier if I needed something like that, okay? Just know that sometimes you don't just lose water. You lose your electrolytes. You need that. You lose your sodium. You lose your sugar. You lose your potassium as well as other things. These are our electrolytes. They go out with our sweat, okay? You got to replace them, and you have to balance out your body or you're going to get cramps. You're not going to sleep well. You're going to be moody. You're going to have headaches. You're going to have aches and pains. Everything has to be balanced. Our water has to be balanced. Our electrolytes have to be balanced. Everything does. Okay, if you're going to a different climate, if you're going mountain climbing, if you're headed south and there's no mountains, if you're on flat ground, if you're increasing or decreasing your activity levels, if you have any disease processes at all going on, and older people, please also keep track of your fluid intake. If you're a diabetic and you're changing anything, keep track of your fluid intake. Keep better track of what your sugar is doing in your body since you're changing this, okay? Once a season, actually cut down on your food intake and increase your fluid intake. I'm doing a detox right now that's good water, 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice, maple syrup, organic maple syrup, absolutely, and cayenne pepper. So whenever I'm hungry, I just kind of drink that for a little while, right? I'm kind of giving my digestive system a little break. Every other body system slows down, takes a break when you're sleeping, but not your digestive system, right? Especially if you ate 4 hours before you went to bed. Your liver's like, I can't go to sleep now. I got to keep on working, right? You got to give your body a rest, your immune system, your microbiome needs to sleep sometimes, right? Keep track of everything, write down everything. That way you can share it and maybe help somebody else, okay? So how much water should you drink in a day? And yes, that means every single day. If you're sick of, if you can't feel like you can't do it, then drink most of your water before 12 or 1. And then you can sip the rest of the day, right? It's not that hard. The best way to do it is actually according to body weight. Okay, so if you're using your body weight, it's not kilograms like a lot of them say. It's actually half of your body weight in pounds compared to fluid ounces, all right? So for 1 quart for every 30 pounds of body weight is another way to do it. So I'm 120 pounds or so. Divide that by 2, so that's about 60 ounces of fluid that I personally need in a day, okay? Now there's a maximum minimum because our kidneys can only do so much, especially drinking so much within an hour too. So please be careful and watch that over again. Men are about 15.5 cups in a day and women are 11.5 cups in a day. So that is the total maximum, even if you're working out, okay? But normally it's about 8 to 10 cups a day. Unless you have those other problems, overweight, sick, vomiting, diarrhea, sweating a lot, okay? Just be careful. If you eat mostly fresh fruits and veggies, my good people, thank you so much. You might not need to drink 8 glasses a day because there's an abundance of water in these foods already, right? Fruits and vegetables have a great percentage of water in them. What do we say about plants? They're about 75% water. Yummy, okay? You could actually eat 1/4 a day. You could eat 1/4 a day. And then you get your fiber, right? 50% of your vegetables and your fruits should be raw. 50 to 60% of your food should be raw. Yes, you're going to get your water in, and then you don't have to drink your 8 glasses, right? And with the vegetables and fruit, like I said, you get your fiber, and your microbiome loves your fiber, right? All whole foods, that includes beans and all that stuff, have water in them, okay? 1/4 a day. Just think about that. And add your fresh fruits and vegetables to your water too. Help your children make their favorite water. And then you eat it at the end of the drink. I cut grapes in half, right? Freeze them, and that's my ice. And then by the time my water's done, I get to eat my grapes. Isn't that awesome? Right. You can make any of them. Comment below. Please let me know what your recipes are, okay? And I've heard so many times, oh my God, I can't drink more water because I'm going to have to go to the bathroom all the time. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. Oh my goodness. You think that's going to last your lifetime? You think that's going to last a long time? No, your body will adapt to it. It won't take too long for your body to calm down and say, oh my goodness, all the good water that's coming in. Finally, I'm not dehydrated. I can't tint my skin anymore. Your body's going to love you. Your skin's going to clear up. Your mouth is going to stay moist. And actually the food that you eat is going to taste better. Your bad breath could be diminished. Your kidneys are going to kiss you. And your immune system will protect you better. Your skeletal system, when you move around and dance and walk around, is going to be more lubricated if you get your 8 to 10 glasses or 6 to 8 to 10 glasses a day. And your cells and everyone will have a bath every single day. Woo! So children, next time your mom and dad say, get in the shower, you need to take your bath today, you need to take a shower. My body is around 74, 70% water. I take a bath every day. My cells are bathed every day. No, don't say that. I did not tell you. Do not tell your parents that. You need to take your showers also, okay? So how much water do you drink in a day? Comment below. What's your choice of drinking water? Comment below. The pH should be around 7. What they say is 6.5 to 8.5 are some of the drinking standards on the waters that I looked up, okay? Water is not supposed to supply you with minerals. Inorganic minerals. Remember, inorganic minerals. Your water is not supposed to supply you with nutrients unless you need them, right? Water is not supposed to have a flavor unless it's a sensation of cool, yummy bliss. Absolutely. Because you're 70 to 74% water, let your good water bathe you 24/7. Good water, right? What kind of electrolytes and vitamins and antioxidants do they add to your waters? Comment below. Which ones do you drink? Comment below. Can you absorb them? Can your body use them? Look it up. See what's in there. Just say, is so-and-so organic? Is this inorganic? Look it up. Remember, if it's inorganic, your body cannot utilize it. Your body cannot use it. So what's the best water? What do I drink now? I drink distilled water. Absolutely. All my friends who believe in me drink distilled water, and now they know the reasons why, and now they can listen again. And I wish I would have known this information sooner. I think I would have made this podcast my first one, right? Because water is so, so, so important to us, right? I drink my cup of tea in the morning with about a quarter cup of the 30-calorie unsweetened almond milk, which is mostly water too. I do drink my Axio once a day that I get from LifeVantage, and I'll make that comment below too. And I put that with a good 12 ounces of water because to me it's pretty sweet. But my Axio has B vitamins in it, has other nutrients, pine bark extracts, quercetin. It's very, very good for my body, good for my brain too, okay? I do drink a glass of wine on occasion. Of course, I love tequila, just in the perfect amount and the perfect time of day. Tequila is a clear liquid, isn't it? Okay. Don't drink tequila, kids. Don't drink tequila. Watch my podcast, please, on what not to drink coming up soon, okay? I also have a podcast specifically for distilled water because that's how important it is. Distilled water actually suppresses your appetite naturally, okay? So it helps you lose weight, possibly. It removes body toxins. It carries your nutrients to your cells, and it can actually carry out more bad stuff because there's nothing in distilled water at all. It is a perfect form of H2O. There's nothing else in it. No viruses, no bacteria, nothing. It is gone. Okay? Good water, distilled water helps remove waste from your organs and tissues. Okay? It's much better if it's not carrying anything else with it. Okay? It regulates all of our body functions, like I said before. It keeps the skin from dehydrating. It gives us healthy muscle tone, okay? Only the truest form of water, which is H2O, with no minerals, no added compounds, no toxins, no pesticides, herbicides, chlorine, fluoride, nothing else added, is distilled water. Okay, this water has been boiled and vaporized, and the vaporized part is the distilled water. Almost all the impurities are out of there. Okay, that's the best water for you. That's what they make your medications with, distilled water. That's what scientists and researchers use when they do their tests and stuff. It is distilled water. Nothing else is in there. But why don't they tell us this? Why don't they tell us this? Dr. Alan Bannock stated, distilled water is the greatest solvent on earth, the only one that can be taken into the body without damage to our tissues. Distilled water. Come on. It helps actually remove the inorganic material, the inorganic mineral and deposits and toxins from our joints, right? It also helps remove cholesterol and fat from the body. Distilled water. Distilled water. Yes, you put it in your diffusers. Yes, you use it for other things. And that's what some of my friends said. Oh, that's just used for a diffuser. That's not for input. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I didn't know that either. I did not know that either. Oh my goodness. Distilled water is going to be coming up in 2 weeks because next week we're going to talk about what we should not drink. Okay? So what's in your cup? What are you drinking? How much fluid have you had today? It's around 4:30 right now. Huh? Comment below. It's up to you to be healthy. Please, guys. Cheers to you. I got my distilled water with my little lemon drink that I've been drinking for a couple of days now. And then when I do get hungry, I do have a salad. So I have something good with a lot of vegetables and stuff in there. Comment below. What are you drinking right now? What are you going to change to? Please don't wait for my distilled lecture next week. Change it now. I promise. It's better for you. I love you guys so much. Cheers again. Oh, the cayenne pepper is always at the bottom. I keep forgetting that. Love, like, subscribe, and share. I love you guys. Thank you so much. What's our new saying? Love, learn, and take control, and teach somebody else. Please teach somebody else. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I will see you next week when we talk about what not to drink. For sure, what not to drink at all, ever. Bye. You guys take care. Please comment below. We will talk very, very soon. You have a great day and a great week. Chatty Cathy signing out. Bye.